France has just made another major move here, warning that their hospitals have been advised to prepare for large-scale war within the next 6 months. This is from a government letter that was leaked to the media, which they're not denying, and they're actually saying is valid. They're saying that this states that between 10 and 50,000 people are expected to be seen in hospitals and that they must prepare for this. They're talking about wounded soldiers from across Europe. They're stating in this that France is going to act like a rear base. It outlines how the hospitals would need to prepare for up to 50,000 beds allocated to wounded civilians and military personnel every month. This is the same France that kicked out manuals here earlier this year, preparing people for this type of event, telling them to start taking the measures and using precautions here to start stocking up and getting ready for some sort of big showdown. They say that all of this, what they're doing, is just like any other part of preparation. So this is very real. They're saying just like stockpiling medicines and other material, that this here is something that they have to do. They're also talking, the leadership is talking about how they should move to putting some of these facilities at the ports. So any new hospitals that get built in France and maybe even other regions will be at a port area. That way, if boats come in with wounded soldiers, they can be taken straight into the hospitals. They are preparing, and this is ramping up. And on the other side of the coin, Russia saying that everything that they're trying to pull off with Ukraine is not going to work at this point. The one thing that they've been against this whole time is any NATO troops gathering inside of Ukraine or making Ukraine a member of NATO, which means that all these other countries can come in, and that would spark big war. They've warned of this, and now they seem, the West and Europe seem to be trying to ignore this, acting like with everything that they say, there needs to be some kind of contingent of soldiers in there. Russia saying even if they're there as peacekeepers, it doesn't matter. They are legitimate targets. This is still going back and forth. Russia's big oil fields just got struck again by drones. And at this point, it really seems like something big is going to get served up here, one way or another. Zelensky refusing to go to Moscow to meet with Putin to talk, saying that Putin has to come to Kiev. And I don't think they trust that. Either way it goes, this is where it's at, and it may not end until a big one is dropped here. Somewhere, somehow in this region, they're going to get hit with a big nuke. This has been telegraphed for almost a decade, especially from the Chinese and Chinese rover pig, showing this scenario in this region. So it seems like it's getting closer and closer, even though there was talks of peace, potential peace and all this stuff, until it is put into concrete. Anything is possible, and it seems like on the world stage, this is what they want anyway. Both sides make a ton of money off of war, and war is a racket through and through. Nonetheless, innocent people die in these events, and they don't seem to care. But we're on the cusp of something big popping off in this area. Something has to give with Ukraine, and it very well could be the linchpin here to big war. Because Europe, Germany, France, as you can see, they're not backing down. They want this inevitably. So it seems something bigger is on the horizon. Join me for the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I'm talking about this and a whole lot more in greater detail. Hope to see you guys there.